Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is March the 16th. We're already past the mid month of, of these 31 days. And trust me, March is flying by. It's like Aries, April babies, we coming. I'm an April baby, if you ain't know. So March, get it on out the way so we can make room for these April babies. Um, yeah, Good morning to you. It's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency, your morning podcast of choice. And I would like to always, like always, show my spirit of gratitude and say thank you. And I appreciate you for just being here. Appreciate you for listening. Those who are listening to it on a podcast distribution, whether it's iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Amazon Music, whatever it is, Spotify, Anchor, whatever it is, whatever platform that you choose to listen to it on. I say thank you and I say I appreciate you. I appreciate you not just 100%. I appreciate you 120% because there's plenty of podcasts for you to choose from, plenty of podcasts that you can, you know, listen to after. But you have taken the time out of your important day to click on consistency is currency and to listen to what I got to say and listen to these jewels that's given in the morning and the things that resonate with you throughout the day. I appreciate you just for listening and for being here and wanting to be here. So again, I appreciate you. I applaud you. Um, yeah, thank you. Like always. Yeah, today is what, Thursday? Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, I think so. Today is Thursday here in Central Texas. I don't know if you're listening to it on the East Coast or you're listening to it overseas, wherever it is, but right now today is Thursday, 7:32 in the morning. So, good morning to you and wherever you may be listening to it from in your timeline. All right, so like always, well, I ain't gonna say like always. I just did it yesterday. So I'm gonna light this candle. This one is from SL Candles. Peace. Good morning, Miss Sky. So this one is for SL Candles, black owned business right here in Central Texas area. And this candle is called Suit and Tie. This candle is called Suit and Tie. We're gonna light this candle up just to get, you know, it started, get the mood right, whatever. Here. I like how they got it because they give you like this little thing of matches that you strike at the bottom just to start it up. So remind me of my grandmama's stove when they used to have the gas stove with the candles. I mean, gas stove with the matches. You got to light up to get that big box of matches. Little flashbacks of grandma. Love you forever. Um, yeah. So let me put the caption up. For those that don't know what we're talking about today, we're talking about the cost. The cost. And today's question of the day is, are you willing to go through your go through? Are you willing to go through your go through? That's a question only people who are honest about themselves and about the direction that they are going to know if they're willing to go through their go through. Because that's what the cost is about. Like, are you willing to go through your go through to obtain and to achieve this particular goal that you have set for yourself and to accomplish it? But it comes with a cost. And I'm sure we all know that. It comes with a cost. If you know that it comes with a cost, put the word cost inside the chat because I want you to begin to take what you have inside of your head and take what you have inside of your heart and to put it out there for you to examine to see how much heart do I have into it? How much effort am I going to apply to it? How much time am I going to commit to it? Because that's what cost is. Cost has a value attached to it, but are you willing to be committed to the cost in order for you to assume the responsibility of what you are striving to achieve. That's where you understand, like, I'm willing to pay the cost to get to where I know that I can go, or to grow into where I know I can be. And just going there is just going to make it that much sweeter once you accomplish that said thing. So let's go ahead and jump into this platform. 2 feet deep. All right. So for those that don't know the platform, those who may be listening to it for the first time, on the podcast distribution, you're going to get definitions. You're going to get inverted definitions. Again, if I say red over white, that means pay attention to the words that are in red. So if you're listening to it on the MP3, on podcast, if you ever want to see it, when I say red over white or white over red, you can go to our YouTube channel, Consistency is Currency, and type that in, and then go and you'll actually be able to watch it as well. So again, if I say the definition to pay attention to is red over white, just look at the words that are highlighted in red. If I say white over red, look at the words that are in white, and you're able to go ahead and drop how you see it into the comment section, just so I can learn from you. And the things that's dropped in the comment section, I will read for those who may not be looking at the audio part. I mean, looking at the visual part, but they're just listening to the audio side. So I will read what you say, and how you flesh things out. Miss Tori, I apologize. Not really. Apologize for stepping on them toes yesterday, but it's okay. I mean, sometimes we need our toes stepped on in order to let us know that we are still human, that we still have choices to make, and that we're still learning more about ourselves um, um, to correct ourselves. That's going to make it better for us as we go along, our journey in life. All right, so the first definition that I want you to look at and pay attention to right now, the first definition, it says of cost, it says an amount that has to be paid or spent to buy or obtain something. The amount that has to be paid or spent to buy or obtain something. And the inversion that I want you to pay attention to with cost is red over white. It says an amount that has to be paid to obtain something. Cost does hold a valued amount. Now let's look at it from the economic standpoint. You go into a store and you go to that store, you say, okay, you're looking for how much it costs. And then you have to also know, do you have the capacity, the financial capacity to actually uh pay for that particular item in order for you to assume it and do what you want with it. So now looking at it from a personal perspective is, I see this particular thing that I want, and I know it's going to take a sacrifice. It's going to take me waking up earlier in the morning, or it's going to take me, I want to write a book, I got to burn this midnight oil. But then you're asking yourself, do I have the capacity to do it? Am I willing to stay up later to do it? Or am I willing to get up earlier to do it? Am I willing to walk away from something, excuse me, in order to obtain it? That's where the cost comes in. And when you're willing to pay the cost, then you're going to do what it takes in order for you to what? Obtain that particular thing. That becomes something that you desire, and not just something that you constantly, continuously talk about. There's too many times we talk about the things that we want, but we're not actually willing to pay the cost in order for us to obtain it. Like, we have plenty of people that want to go and reach their destination, but they're not willing to do what it takes along the journey to get to that point. So they have so many ideas, but not enough accomplishments. I'm gonna say that again. They have so many ideas, but not enough accomplishments. Because if you have more ideas than you have of things that you have accomplished, then you haven't accomplished a lot. You're nothing but a good idea fairy without the capacity to complete that thing that you say you wanted to complete. So you're somebody that make it sound good. You're not somebody that make it good. So look at the ideas that you have and look at the value that goes along with it. And ask yourself, are you willing to pay the cost to obtain it? Are you willing to go through your go through in order to get it? All right. And the last definition I want you to pay attention to, and then we'll go ahead and get into this deep dive. This definition says effort, effort, the effort, loss, or sacrifice necessary to achieve and obtain something. And the inversion I want you to pay attention to is a white over red, which is the effort or sacrifice necessary to achieve. The effort or sacrifice necessary to achieve. So, looking at this from an economic standpoint, the efforts that you have put into your week, for those who are employees, the efforts that you put into your week, the hours that you put into your week, allows your account to sustain the type of life that you want to live. But the efforts actually allows you to have the capacity to go and achieve the things that you want to personally purchase and buy. That's the same thing that we have to look at when it comes to our wants, desires, and goals. Like, how much effort are we putting into sacrificing to get to the point to where we want to assume or obtain the goals that we have set out for ourselves? It takes effort. It doesn't just take your idea. Your ideas are great, but your effort should kick in after the idea has been exposed or examined or even acknowledged. How many of you had an idea, but you didn't actually walk it all the way out? You didn't give it the effort that it needed in order for you to achieve it. That takes transparency to say, like, you know what, I've tried this, but I can say I didn't put in the effort that I know that I really had in order to accomplish it. I didn't put in the effort I know that I should have done in order to achieve it. But then you got to ask yourself, are you willing to pay the cost in order for you to obtain it? That comes from an honest place to say, you know what? I didn't get it done. I didn't get it done. And this is the reason why I didn't get it done. Because when you acknowledge you didn't get it done for this particular reason, now you're going to ask yourself, do I really want to do it? Right? Do I really want to do it? And that's only going to be answered by who? You. All right, this is the last definition. I think I said it last time, but whatever. It's the last definition. And then this definition said the sacrifice made that is usually measured by the resources given up to achieve a particular purpose. This kind of goes into what was said this last time. And the inversion on this, it kind of extends the sacrifice, because the other one said the effort or sacrifice necessary to achieve. And this one inversion is starts out as the sacrifice. Like, this is it. The sacrifice made that is usually measured by a particular purpose. Cost takes purpose. Cost takes patience. Cost takes persistence. Sometimes cost is going to take pleasure. Like, you gotta love what you do. And when you love what you do, when you're doing what you do, the outcome is just that much sweeter. Because you've seen the work and you've seen the effort that you put into it. So when you achieve that particular thing, because you've maximized your effort and it comes out the way that you desire for it to come out, you really start to feel good about yourself. Like, you know what? I did that. Like, no one can tell me that it can't be done because I did it. I learned how to do it. I've sacrificed the time in order for me to learn how to do it. Again, it says the sacrifice made that is usually measured by a particular purpose. Like, what are your purposes of doing why you do? And are you willing to sacrifice even more to obtain even more? Because when you extend your capacity to learn something, then you extend your capacity to achieve more. That's because you want more for yourself. And when you want more for yourself, then self is going to require you to do more. It's going to require you to put more effort into doing it. Don't be walking around saying, like, I just want more for myself. Like, do you really know what that means for you? You want more for yourself. You do know that comes with more of a sacrifice. That does not come with more of the words that you have said. It comes with more of a sacrifice based on what? A particular purpose. Oh, I want to get a promotion on my job. You do know that comes with more of a sacrifice. That higher plane and position comes with more responsibility. So the increased amount of responsibility comes with an increased amount of sacrifice. That's measured by a what? A particular purpose. That's the cost. That's the cost that you have to be willing to pay. Not the cost that you have to be willing to say, but the cost that you are willing to pay. And as we begin to go into this deep dive, I want you to look at the things that you have set out for yourself. Like in the next quarter or the rest of the year or your next particular passion. Like the definition say it, in that particular passion for that particular thing. And I want you to understand there are many things in our life that we will face in our pursuit. Because we have to then begin to ask ourselves, are we willing to go through our go through, get there? Because our go through is a part of the destiny, but our go through is a part of the journey. And the journey to get there comes with a price. And it often requires us to face challenges and adversities and make sacrifices in how we begin to navigate in a mental or a physical space that's filled with obstacles. Just like it's not always going to be bad, just as well as it's not always going to be good. But when you go through your go through, you have to understand that there will be obstacles. The value of the cost is how we overcome these challenges as we truly begin to grow into us becoming achievers and not doubters. It's easy to doubt because only thing you have to do is sit there and lay there and do nothing about it. And you can doubt yourself all day. But when you make the conscious effort and decision to become an achiever, it takes effort. It takes work. It takes compromise. It takes um a level of commitment. It takes determination. And all of that is really truly defined by our measurable, achievable objectives and how we serve. And it serves as a driving force that would allow us to assess our potential cost that's associated with our pursuit. Like, where are you at in your pursuit? Where are you at in valuing the cost that it's going to take in order for you to obtain it and achieve it? Because these costs are emotional, these costs are financial, these costs are missed meals, these costs are involved with sacrifices, whether it be business or personal relationship. These costs takes time. But are you willing to pay the cost? Because as we begin to navigate on this road of success, we must also remember that the journey itself is just as important as the destination. Because the journey, there's things that you're going to learn along the way. There's things that you're going to learn about you along the way. Like, at what level of resiliency do you really have? In our process of paying the cost and overcoming these particular obstacles, we will build our resistance as well as we will learn how to value our lessons as we grow. And we must also embrace our go through because it is our go through that is the journey that allows us to discover our true potential. But are you willing to pay the cost in order for you to obtain it? Are you willing to pay the cost in order for you to be committed to it? Are you willing to pay the cost that is going to put you in a position that you know that you can obtain it? So, therefore, the work is not just work, the work becomes passion, the work becomes love, the work becomes a happy space for you because you have acknowledged the purpose that is behind the cost that you have to pay. And it will build into your capacity in order for you to fulfill it. So, are you willing to pay the cost? If the answer is yes, you have to put in the effort in order to achieve it. You have to maximize your effort in order to obtain it because there are going to be obstacles that's going to come in your way. But know that those obstacles are just steps that's taking you towards the opportunity in order for you to complete it. Some things aren't just obstacles, a lot of things are really a test. And when you have accomplished and have gone through that test, then it becomes a testament that you can do it again when you see those things come in front of your face again. Like, you know what? I've seen this before. And because I've seen this before, I'm just going to do what I did last time. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep driving. I'm going to keep surviving. Why? Because I've accomplished this before. I've paid this cost before. And I have the capacity to do it again. And I'm not worried about what's on my left and what's on my right because those are distractions. And my journey takes me forward. It doesn't allow these lateral movements. My journey takes me forward. My journey doesn't take me into fear. I've been in the point to where fear was prominent, but because I am dominant in my process of thought, I am no longer afraid of being in spaces, but I create the space that I want to be in. And if it's going to cost me to create this space that I want to be in, I'm okay with the cost because I have the capacity to afford to go through my go through. Like James Brown said, what he say, pays the cost to be the boss. It does. It really do. But are you willing to sacrifice the time to get there? All right, I'm gonna leave you alone. All right, it's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency. I just want to say I appreciate you for listening. I appreciate you for allowing me to pour into you this morning. Go ahead and put it into the comment section the things that resonated with you the most because I want to learn from you just like you hear from me uh, in the morning. Y'all be blessed. Peace.